This week we're going to talk about summarizing and paraphrasing. Last week we discussed the pros and cons of Wikipedia and started to peruse the library databases for scholarly articles. We also read about summarizing and paraphrasing in the They Say textbook, and you completed a short exercise that required you to summarize an article from two different perspectives. This week, you'll choose one scholarly article to summarize for the summary paper assignment, and you will continue to practice writing a summary. Learning outcomes for this week. First, you're going to choose a scholarly journal article for your summary paper by following specific guidelines outlined in both the scholarly journal handout and the Research Minutes video. You're going to summarize an article related to your research topic by applying principles discussed in the readings, and you're going to create a works cited entry by following instructions found in the Citing an Article in MLA format page. For this week, you'll have readings in both the They Say textbook and the Norton Field Guide. For the Norton Field Guide, you'll read chapter 41 and 47. And for the They Say textbook, you'll read chapter 3 about the art of quoting. Some additional materials include a link to the scholarly journal articles page, which we went over last week, just in case you need a reminder. Another link provided for you is citing an article in MLA format. So this page goes through the necessary information needed to cite an article in MLA format, and then a sample with the items you're looking for, along with a sample of an actual text. And there should be a hanging indent right here. So I'll have to go in and add those spaces. Don't forget that works cited titles need to be centered and that they need a hanging indent. That means that every line after the first line is spaced in by a tab. The other resource that you're going to look at is the summary paper common errors video that I put together to go over some of the things that mistakes that students have made in the past with this assignment. So hopefully that'll help you not make those same mistakes. And then finally, there is a link to a YouTube video, peer review, about writing a concise summary, and it looks like that link is incorrect. So I'll get the correct link in there. Okay, so early in the week, your initial post for discussion 5 will be due, along with They Say assignment 4. And in They Say assignment 4, you're going to read about the art of quoting. You're going to choose a paragraph from one of the readings published at the back of the book. And the paragraph should include at least one direct quote, and then you're going to just analyze how the writer integrated that quote into his or her own text. It should be a relatively quick process, but it is designed to just make you more aware of how to integrate sources into your text. Next, you're going to choose, using the article you choose for the summary paraphrase paper, or the summary paper, you should choose a quote that might be useful to your research. Write an introductory statement and before introducing the quote, and then introduce the quote, and then write a sentence explaining the quote's relevance. And this is a pattern that you're going to follow in your research paper. Every time you introduce quoted material into your paper, you're going to have to follow this process where you start out introducing the source and the author and what it is, the idea that you're trying to get across, and then you're going to use that quote as evidence to support that idea. You can't just drop a quote into a paper and not somehow tie it into your argument. So as you can see here, after the quoted material is put in, there is an analysis statement written by me about how these quotes support my claim. So you're going to just get a little practice. And again, this is material that you may or may not use in your research paper. Okay, so for the end of the week, you'll post your responses to classmates for discussion 5, and then you'll post your summary draft. Here is the summary assignment for you to go through. There is a sample summary paper that you can look at how it was done. You'll notice the first line introduces the article with a signal phrase with the author's name, and you'll notice transitions throughout. And you'll also notice that there's nothing, but my opinion is not in here at all. Everything in this summary has to do with what Jason Hong has to say about Google Glass. So this will serve as a resource for you. And then here is the MLA Works Cited entry. And finally, this is just a link to the actual article in case you wanted to refer back to it. It's not necessary, but just in case you want to, it's there. So there's criteria for how to choose an article, which we've already spent some time going over. There is a signal phrases page that will help you work on your transitions in your summary. Here are some transitional words and phrases as well. And then tips on reading the article, the criteria for the draft, and here's a link to MLA format for the works cited entry. Again, I think you saw this page last week. And then the Dropbox. And then later you'll come back and you'll look at the criteria for the final revision in a couple of weeks. Okay, notice that there are 2 places to turn in your draft. You're going to turn it in to me so that I can review it and give you feedback by clicking on the Dropbox and sending it there. Here is a link to the lockers, and that's where you'll upload your draft to the group lockers, and that's where you can also retrieve the draft for your peer review partner. Now, typically only about 1/3 of the students in the class get this step taken care of. So if for some reason you forget, I do double check the locker to make sure everybody's draft is in there, and so I'll go ahead and take care of that. But you could save me a little time and effort, and you could learn how to use the lockers by doing it yourself. This week's checklist right here. So you can see we've got, again, all the readings and the writing assignments, and I should probably add something here about the locker as well, just as another reminder. And then finally, planning ahead. Next week will be peer review and revision. So if you'd like to review the peer review and summary paper final with reflection portions of the assignment, you can do so here. And then here's a reminder that of when the peer review partners will be assigned for summer 2014. So that's pretty much week 4, and so let me know if you have questions, and I will see you online. Have a great week.